Hello and welcome to Dubai Athletic. Today I catch up with Sujith Varghese, who had a motorbike accident at the age of 20 and lost the use of his legs. He turned his life around, he started working out at the gym. He's now a 5 times TEDx speaker, a Guinness World Record holder, and he's even a personal trainer. To start with, I asked him to take us back to that dark day of the accident.
So, in Bangalore, when I was doing my final year of college, I had a motorbike accident. In my final year, the final month, actually, I was doing bachelor's in commerce, and I crashed. I went into coma. When I woke up, it was the fourth day, and I saw my family looking at me, and my parents were there, and I was completely confused. So I was only awake for about 15 to 20 minutes a day for a good amount of time, so like a week or 2 weeks, because I was on high doses of morphine and the sedatives. So what I learned, it took me a week plus. What I learned is that I had suffered a motorbike accident and I had suffered 18 fractures on my skull. My ribs were broken, multiple maxillary fractures, and the injury, the grave injury, the biggest injury was the spinal cord injury. So my spinal cord got cut at T5, T6 level. So I couldn't feel my legs. Unaware. I wasn't aware why I couldn't feel my legs. There was not a lot of questions asked because my mind was still in so much of trauma to process it. But it took me about a week, 2 weeks to learn that stuff was serious.
So I guess you found out and there was this delayed reaction. But when did the reality of what happened to you really start to hit home?
When I left the hospital and I came back home in India, that's when reality hits different because people are looking at, everyone has different questions for you. Then followed by there's a lot of life changes that happens with it as well. When I think that's when a different reality opened up to me. Loneliness came in. Uh, a lot of people leaving my life came in. Depression came in, and I was at a very very dark place at that time. And what made it even worse is that there was a person that we took a belief that he could treat me. He was an Ayurvedic doctor, and his methods completely backfired on me. And it was a very unorthodox method, and it was more of the gamble for money he wanted from us. And that costed me 22 surgeries to fix the damage that he had done on my body.
And when did things start to turn around for you?
Everyone has a breaking period. How much do you take from whatever life, somebody doing something to you? How much can you take before you make a choice? Either at that point, so that's why I tell every person, every human being, we reach a crossroad. At that crossroad, which is a big one, that's a point in your life where you understand that nobody can help you other than yourself. Till then, if you could be dependent, if people were dependent on their spouses, I was dependent on my parents, whoever it may be at that age, because I was only at the age of 20, 21 years old. When I reached that crossroad and I saw that no one can do anything about my situation, my doctors are helpless. They're like, there's no cure for this. My parents are in a very desperate need to somehow help me because they're not doctors. They don't know what is the next step. And this is very new in our family. No one has ever suffered anything close to like a spinal cord injury. So when I reached that crossroad, I had to make a decision. That decision was either I let this thing burn me and I completely be a person who just receives sympathy from everyone. I be locked up and my future is done. And cry and I blame the entire situation for the rest of my life that I'm the unfortunate person this happened to me. Or I challenge every single thing, every single one, and I prove myself that I am not what people limited me to be. And I'm gonna then that second road, there's no stopping to it. That second road has no end line. That second road has no limits in terms of pushing further. That second road is an absolute beast. So I chose, thankfully, the latter.
Now, was there a trigger when you thought, right, I really want to turn my life around?
The way people reacted to my accident was one factor of it. Like, when I say that, I don't think a lot of people, especially from where I'm from, they don't understand how to react to it. Then when a person tells them that I had a spinal cord injury, I'm in a wheelchair, a lot of people, from 90% of the people that came into my house, people I don't know. Some are my relatives, some are my parents, long distance friends, some are people someone. And everyone, when they heard about my accident, all they came to me was sympathize. It's so unfortunate happened to you, and or relate somebody else that they know went through a similar thing and who's in a worse situation, and they're telling me that, like, thank God you're not that bad. This is all I heard for years. And so that just put me at a very so every day when you constantly hear this, it kind of affects a person. So that's when I was really done. And then I had a lot of people walk out of my life, and I was not in college anymore. I was not going to classes. I was just home every single day. Suddenly you get this feeling that you're forgotten. So when all this came back to back, at one point you crash, and I crashed. And the where I picked myself up was watching a video in YouTube. It's called the Dewey Bonzello story. That 11-minute video changed my life. And when I came back to Dubai, so that gave me the first hope of inspiration in like the little fire that was left. I'm like, you know what? That's all I need. Take the first step. Take the first step to challenge it. Take the first step to have confidence that you can do something. In my mind, I told myself. So I built that you are still not done. Because you know what the first thought that came into my mind was that you are not what others tell you you are. So I allowed that to happen for a long time, believing everyone. Okay, now my life is limited to this and that. I changed that mindset first. When I came back to Dubai, I was skin and bones. I was barely, I was super skinny because I lost a lot of my muscle, being in hospitals for years. And I told my parents that I want to join a gym, and they were skeptical at first, but they're like, if that's what you want to do that. Gym was the one place that changed my life. That is the place I built my resilience. That's the place I felt I was equal. That is the place I took it as a religion. Every single day, 5 to 6, I was in the gym. 5 to 6, 5 to 7, I was in the gym. I was eating good. I was working out. 3 months down the lane, Justin, of because this is the only thing I had in 24 hours. I wasn't working. I wasn't studying. Gym was the only thing in 24 hours I used to look forward to every single day. And when 3 months passed by, and I was looking good now, I was buffed up. I had strength in my body. Muscles were there. I felt a little bit more confident, to do something more now than this. And the first time I would bench press 100 kilos in the gym, I remember half the people were like stunned. I was a guy who couldn't even lift 10 kilos initially, and I'm bench pressing at 3 months later 100 kgs for like 2 reps. So that gave me the foundation of my confidence. You know.
Now, you're a great example for Dubai Athletic of someone who used fitness and sport to impact other areas of their life.
Yeah,
Um,
because till then I'm scared to even get out of my house. Like, how am I going to get out? How am I going to get out of the ramp under my building? I'm not strong enough. I need somebody. Always, I need somebody. Including when I was in the when I was if I'm in the bed and I need my wheelchair to go to the room. I had to call my sister. She had to come hold the wheelchair. I had to transfer and then go to the. You understand? The level of independence was close to zero at that time. When the gym happened. It happened step by step. It happened first, my mom dropping me to the next building to the gym. It's literally in the next building. But she used to help me down the ramp, wheel me to the next building, and drop me to my trainer and come pick me up. When I got stronger, I started telling mom, it's okay, I think I can do it myself. Then I started using the ramp and going to myself. From that, it became to traveling from Sharjah, wheeling for about a kilometer, entering a mall, exiting a mall from the back, taking a bus from now I'm in the Dubai side, taking a bus, catching metros just to go work out in a gym in Business Bay because it had boxing bags. I used to do that every day. 5 hours it takes me my travel. My travel took me close to 3 hours, and my workout was 2 hours. And I did that from Sharjah to Dubai just because this gym had boxing bags. What an empowering, what an empowering title. When I heard about it first, I was so happy because it's not very good when people tell you, oh, that's a disabled person. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that word. I don't want people to be using on it. It's such a down meaning word. You know what I mean? But when you term the same to a person, you're a person of determination. It's a sign of hope. I mean, Justin, aren't we all living by hope? We have a hope that we will wake up tomorrow. We have a hope that our life will become better tomorrow. We have a hope that whatever happened in the past can be better tomorrow. I believe every single one goes by hope. And hope is the most important thing in the world. And I'm grateful for this, that in my journey and whatever I've been through and I've been able to bounce back, that I provide to a hope to a lot of people. I
yeah.
hope to a lot of people out there that you do not have to be just because something has happened in your life that was unplanned. You don't have to be limited in life.
Now, you've proved that with the things you've done. It's a long list of things. So tell us about your incredible comeback journey and how you got your very own Guinness World Record.
So I say I always kind of manifested this because when I started picking my life up in 2016, joining a gym, 2017 I became a speaker. 2017 I got invited by Dubai Tourism to be an official ambassador for Dubai Fitness Challenge. So every year there was something being progressive in my life, in my journey. I was doing more physical stuff. I was doing more speaking. I became a speaker. I always call myself an accidental speaker, but the first time I spoke, I got my first TEDx talk in the same year. So every year when I was looking for something new, and I remember someone always asking me, "What's your next big thing? What's your next big thing?" Because in 2018, I physically pulled a car that weighs 1,250 kilos to prove to people that if you saw me doing that, would you have assumed, if I asked you before I did that, would you think I would do it? 90% people would have said no. But what if you saw the impossible happen in front of you? So as all these things were going on in life, there's a long list of it. Uh, Someone asked me, I used to always manifest this. How about a Guinness? Because I started dreaming, how big can I go? What the biggest thing I can do? And it was either an Olympic gold medal or a Guinness World Record. So I kept I think saying this, believe it or not. In 2021, I get a DM from the senior PR manager of Guinness World Records saying that, hi, I've been following your journey. I love your journey. I just want to know, are you interested in breaking a Guinness World Record? Are you making interested in making a Guinness World Record? And I was like, this is the DM I'm waiting for. We got talking, we got discussing, and finally we came up with the plan that we will do. I will do the largest GPS logo by personal determination. What this means is I would have a tracker on my hand and I would wheel in a route in the roads of Dubai, in a route that I have mapped. And after I'm done wheeling those roads, the route I chose, when I stop my tracker and I place that image on where I have traveled and the way I have traveled on a map, that map will show you a sign of a logo. And that logo was of a wheelchair of the people of determination. So that is what I did. The route was the total distance was 8.71 kilometers, and I completed it in 1 hour and 25 minutes. Yeah.
And so from that, is it really like the theme of proving people wrong, saying, you think I can't do this, and I'm going to show you that I can?
This one is more than proving people wrong. This was more of making people across the world who are in a wheelchair feel empowered and included and represented. That was this for me. The world record was great. I have a title today as a Guinness World Record holder, but the image selected to do a wheelchair was way more powerful than just a personal record. Because for me, it was like if I could represent this community and label it and show that sign and make it in no other place other than the tallest building in the entire world. Because the map literally starts in Burj Khalifa and it ends in Burj Khalifa, right? It starts from Burj Khalifa, goes to Financial Center, and comes back to it. And the entire wheelchair logo is made almost like on it. I mean, it is not, this is not just about proving people wrong. This is about representing a lot of people, I think, out there.
So what's next in your ambitious game plan? What do you want to achieve?
Justin, my mindset has always been to be the best version of one human self. So I don't think when someone tells, what kind of person are you? I can never give an answer to that. I can never tell that I'm only this kind of person. I feel life is too big. The world is experiences us so much of abundance. There's so much of beauty. There's so much of good things to experience, feel, adapt, learn, see, let go, whatever it may be. And so I want to just whatever I like. I've been always put my hands into it. So fitness was one of them. Fitness turned out to be something else because I took my personal trainer license to train people as well. Then it happened with my work is going on. Then music is another thing. So I have made rap music videos and I have released it on YouTube. And now my other next fleet is getting into a little bit more music in terms of DJing and things like that. So it's like where my mind goes and what I want to do and be the best at it, I want to do that. So as a speaker, I feel I've accomplished a decent recognition, being a five-time TEDx speaker, spoken to over 50,000 people. When I'm on stage, I feel different. I feel very empowered when I share my story and I give hope to people on how I've built my resilience over a period of long time. So that really it fuels me. So I just try to be the best in what I can do, and I want people to see that what is his fire? That fire is solely self-driven. But why? Because why not? That's my only question. Why not? When you discover this potential that every individual is inflicted with and it's inbuilt with, why not unleash it? Why limit yourself? And I tell this to people that people really only limit themselves is because of the surroundings, of their belief systems. Change whatever you have to change.
So if you'd not had the accident, do you think you would have achieved all that you've achieved so far? Was it the accident that ironically gave you that fire in the belly?
Very interesting question, Justin. But I have thought a lot about that question. But I always think there was a fire in me, always. It sparked, and I was able because this happens. These kind of things have happened to a lot of people. Some people crash and be in a room and never get out of it. I didn't do that. Why? Because definitely when I was put down to a place, because I was a very different person before my accident. I was not a person who really thought a lot about the future. I was more of a guy who's, I always say this line, living on the edge, hanging by a thread. For me, it was adrenaline rush. I was at that phase. So I was treated very differently, treated very nicely. When this happened to me, I was at the rock bottom. So for me, it was either, like I said, give up when I reached my crossroad and allow. But there was always that voice within me not telling me, dude, you cannot be this people's verdict about you. You cannot allow these people's opinions be your reality. You know, that the fire, that inner fire, because I was always that person who was always a little bit, wanted to be ahead, wanted to be the best. I always had that thing like, I want to be good. I want to be better. I always had that mentality. It definitely amplified 100 folds after my accident. It definitely amplified a
Yeah.
100 folds. I remember something very vaguely, but it was, it doesn't matter what has happened yesterday. You can create your tomorrow. That hits me almost even till date. When if some things go south, I'm like, it's done. It's yesterday. I can still create a new future tomorrow. I can always rebuild. I can always be better because, like I said, all the tools for it is coming from within. I'm not dependent on anyone. I have my confidence. I have my belief. I have, I have a very strong mind that if I want to do something and I completely focus on it, everything will change for me to get that.
Yeah.
So it's all about, it's always been that mentality with me, and at least I've built it to that level today. And I do not see failure. I do not see, uh, I do not see, it, I wouldn't probably make it, but I would die trying to make it.
And what would be the piece of advice you'd want to give to other people who've also hit rock bottom, whether it's physically or mentally in their lives? People going through a lot of issues. What piece of advice would you give them?
It's just one thing, Justin. Believe in yourself. People often do not believe in themselves. I'm telling you, it's a very said line, I think, but people, believe me, they do not believe in themselves enough as much as they should be believing in themselves. They allow that power of belief to be lie in the hands of somebody else, of the people around them, of their whoever it may be, family, spouses, whoever it may be, and on their verdicts, they place that I'm only this much. No, life is way beyond this much, that much. But people limit it because of their belief systems. I think people don't have, they don't unlock that side of them. And the only way to do that is by trying new things. So try as much as you can, be out as much as you can. And stuff happens. It happens to everyone in different ways. Happened to me physically, could happen to somebody else in another way. But it's all about moving forward. It's all about always moving forward, knowing whatever has happened in the past, let it be in the past. Do not dwell on it. Do not regret on it. It's okay. Happens. Move forward. Always move forward so you can create a better tomorrow.